Now, I want to go to high beta tech for our sector spotlight because we talked about this sector yesterday. They were holding up really well. Wanted to check back in to see if they were holding up better on Monday. Now, in my looking at the stocks, we had Apple, BIDU, and Google all eked out some kind of gain, but then we did have China, Amazon, Netflix all closed lower. Split 50-50 here. So what direction do you think this group goes in now?
This go-to list they're the best acting stocks in the market, but a market can't be held up by 10 best acting stocks. But these are the stocks you have to watch, because if they start to break down, if they start to show some weakness, then we probably get that trigger in the indices. So if we want to take a look at Apple first, that was up about $5 or so in a down tape. This chart looks great.
But just a question of when the other guys are going to drag Apple down, to me, quite frankly.
Well, right now, this is the levels to watch. You have to have your hand on the trigger here. Okay, you have yesterday's low of around, what, 392, and then this is your line in the sand. If you are long Apple for a short-term basis, we start breaking below this area, the technical landscape changes. But for right now, I think it's going to hang out in here, and once the market gets its footing, it could be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, this stock is going to be well above $400.
And let's go to BIDU and find out what that level is for BIDU.
Well, BIDU, we talked about the prior breakout area, as support, and so far it's holding. So if you take a look here on BIDU, you will see it also is acting well. This was the prior high. This was yet earnings high, the exhaustion top after a huge move. And now it's trying to consolidate again. As long as it stays in this little area or this channel, I think it's fine. It's only at the 10-day. It still has the 20-day and the 50-day, so it is acting very healthy. But the line in the sand that you have to be watching is 153 to 155. If these things start to intensify to the downside, there's trouble. So if you're long here, be in tier 1 versus that level.
Now, Google actually closed up on the day, but did trade below that $600 level. What did that mean to you? Was that a big level for you?
Google is still holding the earnings gap. Google, to me, the complexion has changed. Anytime this market wants to get positive, this is bouncing with it. So if you look here on Google, if you're long some, just be very careful if it starts getting into this earnings gap. Okay, that's a huge gap from about 540 all the way to 600. As long as it stays in this upper area, I think the long side momentum is there, and this is in the game as an investment once the market turns. And as a trade, guys will be trading it versus that area, and if it shows relative weakness, there might even be a cute short into that gap, and then we figure out what level holds within that gap.
But then we have China down 1%, earnings coming out tomorrow. We have Amazon down 0.5%. We had Netflix down almost 1%. These guys were the leaders too. So do you think that Apple will bring these guys up, or do you think that they're going to have more downside right now?
Well, for these leaders, I'm not going to show the charts. This is the thing. You have the S&Ps coming in or below the 200-day. All of these leaders are above their 10 and 20-day.
Okay.
If they start to break their 10 or 20-day, then you have to watch the 50-day. And if they break the 50-day, then they're really in trouble. But for now, as long as they're holding above the 10, 20, and even above the 50, showing relative strength, this is the group to watch for leadership each and every day.
All right, fair enough. We will be back with stock trades, especially from the industrial sector, right after this.